Good morning, good Sunday morning, the 5th of January, a brand new year. Happy New Year to everyone. A time we get to clean the slates and try to do those things that we didn't accomplish last year and look forward. And I hope this call we get to explore some of the ideas that will come from our quote. And I know we're going to have the delightful opportunity to hear Dr. Clint this morning when he arrives. And wherever we are in the process, it will be, I'll just defer to him. Good morning, May Chen. Robin Lee, thank you for helping. Cornelia, always the support. And Katie, thank you for helping letting people in. Siobhan, so good to see you. Shifra, it looks cold, but beautiful to be outside. Susan, oh my goodness. Can't believe I just forgot your name and I know you, Mr. Ingman. I love
That's
you.
okay. Joseph. Actually, speaking of
Joseph,
Susan,
Joseph, Joseph. Oh yeah, Mary's husband. Oh no, Susan's husband. Thank you. Dr. Clint, you're here. And I said we were going to defer to you the moment I knew you were here. It's yours, my wonderful friend.
oh, so good to see everyone, and also it's so good the timing of just seeing Joseph and Susan, who are kind of leading the effort for the upcoming Ancient Secrets event here in Sedona. As you can see, some of the beautiful red rock behind me as the sun is rising. I just wanted to join today for a couple of reasons. First of all, tell how excited I am for June. How excited I am for the experience that we're going to have dropping deeper into the ancient secrets and the theme. Hopefully, Joseph and Susan will talk about a little bit, but now is the time. Now is the time. And some more elements around that we're super excited about. Also, speaking about now is the time. And so, if you're interested in coming to Sedona, we'll have more details soon. We have the website, which is almost done. There's just some little edits where people can register. I know a lot of people that came a year and a half ago or 2 years ago here. Oh man, excited to come back and be nourished by the. Actually, whenever I'm here, I feel so much connection with the earth and the ancestors. Of that magical kind of combination. And I feel Dr. Ram's presence very much here as we're preparing for this experience. Speaking about now is the time, I'm also so excited about the detox, the delicious detox opportunity that's coming up that already many of you have signed up for. If you've done one in the past, it's a nice way to have 7-day drop in as you're beginning the year, giving yourself the best chance to have the healthiest, happiest, most fulfilling year possible. And I know Debra-Ann's going to speak about that. And so I just also want to express my love for Debra-Ann and all those who are supporting on the call today. Thank you for letting love guide you in all the ways you do. I love you. I'm with you and excited to see you on the rest of this call. And then here in Sedona on the 7-day detox and all the beautiful things that are unfolding. I love you and I'm with you.
Thank you, Dr. Clint. Thank you. Well, to segue into 7-day detox, I'll talk about that just really quick before we move forward. The reason I chose the quote was because of the 7-day detox, and maybe we could have Robin Lee put that up real quick. It's I had it here in my notes. I'm sorry. These powerful ancient healing keys are used by our Siddha Veda lineage, our school of thought, in order to produce results that look to the modern world like miracles. Think of wonderful Afsana, but they are based on time-tested principles and processes, and they produce predictable, long-term, non-toxic results. They are not they are not about a quick fix, but rather about deeper healing. I chose that because the 7-day detox is that step into that world of one of the 6 healing keys, which happens to be detox. And there's so many people on the call that I know will want to share about their detox, but we have introductory things still to finish, which would be I don't know if Carol Way would like to do announcements today, and if that would be the case, I want to say hi, Carol Ray, and oh my
Hello.
gosh, let me say hi to a couple more people: Esther Francis, Rick, Levi. So glad you're here. Beverly, Bridget, Linda, Nehemiah. So glad you're here. Mary, in wonderful Alaska. So glad you're here, Amy. Thank you. To you, Carol, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Debra-Ann. Um, Many of you have had the pleasure of hearing Tony Lister speak. He is a dynamic force and somebody that has inspired me and kind of changed the way I look at some things. So Tony is going to be leading our next Ancient Secrets for Emergency Preparation class next Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific. And that class, you can still register for it. There, we can put a link in here. The materials are available in Spanish and English. And Tony's going to talk about how to release trauma from our physical being, how to get that out of our system. And he's such a dynamic speaker, and he's been through a lot of emergencies himself. So really looking forward to that next Thursday at 10 Pacific. And then Saturday, the 18th, my dear friend Pamela Curley is going to talk also about the body and trauma and integration of back into our body after we've had trauma. So I'm really excited for that session. And then a closing session on the 25th of January, where we'll celebrate our successes over the last 4 months, kind of review our 7-day grab and go, our sheltering in place plans, and kind of recap all of that. So that's all exciting stuff. And we also have upcoming a art program, I do believe. Can we have Miss Susan talk about that?
Hi, everyone. Love to have you join us this Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, where we're going to make soul collages. It's a simple process where you bring pictures or magazines and a card and glue and scissors, and we cut out and we make a collage, and then we're going to share. So we'll have an opportunity to see into each other's souls for a time and deepen our connections. A $5 donation or more if you choose. And there's no necessity to be an artist or to feel, well, I think we're all artists. We all create our own art. So I'm going to say that for sure. But anyway, it's just a creative, beautiful time to share together. And it's all for our kids in Nepal. So join us this coming Wednesday. We'll have a good time, I assure you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Beautiful,
Susan.
Susan. Thank
Any
you.
more announcements, Carol?
Just to say that towards the end of the month, on the last Tuesday in January, we'll have our next Portuguese call where we go through the book chapter by chapter, and that's led by our friends who are native Portuguese speakers from Brazil, Portugal, Martinique, whatever. And then Asia Pacific, I think, is the last day of the month at 5 p.m. Pacific, our little Asia Pacific group that we have from our friends in Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, etc. More information in the newsletter.
Yeah, and
Thank you, Carol.
before we forget it, we also have the concert in whoever happens to be in Washington, D.C. Renara, our famous and friend from Russia, originally living in France. He's giving a concert again, a charity concert, with all the proceeds going again to the children in Nepal in the area of Washington, D.C. And we will also post the where it's going to be here in the chat, and it's also in the newsletter. This is also happening this week, I think on the 11th. So there are definitely a few things to come. And I would also like to hand it over again to Susan and Joseph to talk maybe a tiny bit more about the Sedona event.
Great, thank you. So
Go.
we're excited. We are going to be gathering in Sedona, Arizona, and it will start on Monday, June 9th. There'll be kind of the informal gathering dinner get together that was wonderful a couple years ago. And there is going to be the PATH graduation also on that Monday the 9th.
And the Golden Angels will have a meeting on Monday, the 9th. So if you're involved with any of that, please plan on being there the 9th.
And then the get-together event, the Unstoppable event, will then start on Tuesday, the 10th, and be Wednesday and Thursday. So that's the 10th through the 12th of June in Sedona, Arizona. And now is the time.
And the theme of it is now is the time, because honestly, now is the time. Now is the time for whatever is on your heart, your mind, whatever you're here to do. Now is the time. Now is when you're called. And we are going to support each other in such deep and profound ways to really each person know what their now is and what their time is to do whatever or to be whatever. So it's going to be a pretty extraordinary experience. And the price, well, we're going to have the landing page, the place where you can register and get all your information. That'll be up very soon. And the price is going to be the same price that it was last year.
And the year before.
And the year before. And so it's very, very affordable. And we just look forward to a very heart-centered, beautiful experience together as it has been. So please, now is the time to join. Now is the time to come. Now is the time to say yes to your life. There, done.
Well done.
Thank you, Joseph and Susan. That was, yes, now is the time. And that's the same idea with the detox, which will not interfere, by the way, with the art time. Just in case anybody was concerned, they're scheduled at different times during the day that so that everybody can participate in both. So we're talking about the detox. Let me tell you, we have put together a 7-day detox, which isn't like anything we've done before, because a lot of our real focus has been on the 30-day. And so on the 7 days, you're not only going to be having simple food, but you're going to be learning about Siddhaveda and Ayurvedic medicine. So hopefully by the end, you will be able to look at a meal and say, yeah, that's just exactly what my body needs today, because our bodies change daily, right? And there's going to be movement. Cornelia will be doing movement so that we can, move all those toxins to the place where they need to leave the body. And so it'll be a great time of connecting and supporting each other on doing what needs to be done now. Because Dr. Naram said, it's really hard to know what your purpose is to do if it's not feeling well, if it's hampered by disease or lack of energy. And so this is a first step. I think that's all I want to say about that. I want to say hi to Brett. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And Ariana and Tara and Judy. Oh my gosh, all the people that are so beautiful. So I'm going to read the quote one more time, and then we're going to drop in because we've just been through a whirlwind of information. And yes, we want to move forward, but to move forward, we need to come to that place of stillness and peace, because where our strength is to be in the world is inside. And finding that peace is one of the things we hear from Dr. Naram. The ancient secrets bring us vibrant health, unlimited energy, which is absolutely true, and peace of mind. So the quote one more time is, these powerful ancient healing keys are used by our Siddhaveda lineage, our school of thought, in order to produce results that look to the modern world like miracles, but they are based on time-tested principles and processes. That's what we're going to discover in the 7-day detox, the principles and processes. And they produce predictable and long-term non-toxic results. They are not a quick fix, but rather deeper healing. And I'm going to ask Cornelia if we could drop into this space. It's a video that has some lovely visuals, and there's no words. It is dropping into that space of being. So take a couple deep breaths, situate yourself in time and space, and just breathe and enjoy. I'm not hearing it. Try it. We'll try it one more time. Was I the only one that didn't hear?
I was hearing it fine.
You were
heard it
hearing it
fine.
fine.
Okay. It's low volume.
Okay.
Thank you, Cornelia. So in this winter time, which we experience our new year, I would love to hear from anyone who has done the mung bean soup for any length of time, what your experience was, because that was my first experience with Ancient Secrets after I read the book. The first thing I knew I could do is run out and buy everything and do the soup. At that point in time, I couldn't walk on my right leg because of osteoarthritis, and I started to have less pain. And from there, my life has totally changed. I would love to hear anyone who would like to share their experience with detoxing using Dr. Naram's methods. I'm going to call on Carol Ray because I know for sure she has some wonderful things to share.
Oh, life-changing, the absolutely life-changing. January 2020, I walked with a cane. I had a back brace. I was getting steroid injections every 6 months in my bursa joints for osteoporosis, psoriatic arthritis, and could not do stairs. And was about almost 20 pounds heavier than I am today. And I briskly walk upstairs now, and I haven't had steroid shots except in my scalp for several years, for 4 years. So it's completely life changing to get rid of the inflammation that was coming from the food and the toxicity in my system. So I can't say enough about how important it is to pay attention to our body. We're so adept at paying attention to what's in our mind. But for this week, try and allow your body to be served by your mind instead of the other way around. It's just so important. And to journal, write down what your emotions, what you ate, how it made you feel, the emotional part of eating. All of that is so important to capture in your notes. And I would also say it's a great time to detox from social media, from news, to stop scrolling and instead invest in your well-being, silence, solitude, stillness. Be creative, do artwork, sing, dance, do things that make you joyous. It's a great time to really think about what's important and how we nourish our bodies. And there's so much I could say, but I just want to say this, it's just 1 week and it can absolutely change everything. And I encourage you to buy the cookbook, Ancient Secrets Cookbook. It's only, $15 or so on Amazon, and it helps you explain your body type and constitution and how food affects you, and to overcome the dryness that's inherent to being vata, or to the fieriness of pitta, or the sluggishness of kapha, how food can help balance all of those things. So that's enough for now, Debra-Ann. Thank you for an opportunity to say something.
Thank you, Carol Ray. That was awesome and just wonderful to hear, because I know these miracles, seeming miracles, that's really science, happen all the time. Dr. Ann, I would love to hear what your experiences have been.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
When I met Dr. Naram 30 years ago and he was talking about mung bean soup, like, first of all, I was like, what did he say? We're all looking at each other. And then, it was spelled M-O-O-N-G or M-U-N-G or like, what? It was very mysterious. And he was ripping off these herbs that I'm Italian. It wasn't oregano. You sure we can't put some oregano in there instead? What do you mean? Cumin? What's that? And so he said to me, Anne, because he could see me like, what, and he said, just make it with turmeric, and just make it start out just like that with mung beans and turmeric, and I think ghee, he said something like that, and some black pepper, salt. Okay, so for years that's how I did it, and I didn't do it often, but I just thought, kind of like mung bean, this little mighty mung bean. It reminded me of him and this little mighty might that he was, in this energy. And it was more like entertainment, we'll say, at first, right? And then when we all started to get on the calls back in when COVID had just started, and the book, we were all waiting so anxiously for the book, but it all got frozen down, because everything was locked up. Dr. Clint would get on and he would give us, he would share a chapter, he would read to us. I really loved that. And he would read to us and then we would try something. Everybody try ghee and everybody try making mung bean soup. So when it came time for the mung bean soup, after hearing all these wonderful things, I was so excited, and I made it, and I swear it made my belly burn. But I was like, no, it can't be. This is medicine. It can't be making my belly burn. I'm having all these expectations. Like, seriously, when I got on those calls, I couldn't have the light shining on my head. I was bald here. I didn't want anyone to see me get up from the table to get something because I got up like sideways and like, and my hair was gray, and it's not, the mung bean soup did not take the gray. I do henna. I'm not going to tell a lie, but it did have an effect. I also use Indian hair oils now and taking my Metaboost and everything, and I have plenty of hair now. But I was a bit debilitated. I would have thought I was healthy because I ate organic food and things, but I didn't really know how bad that I was until I started feeling better. And then I found out from Dr. Ronak that I wasn't using gluten-free hing. And at first I thought, he can't be right because you just put this little tiny pinch of hing in. How could it be this little pinch, whether it's gluten-free or not? But thank goodness it made the difference and I could eat the soup. So then I was feeling so good, and I'm hiking and I'm trying to start to jog again and run again. And because I always wanted to be able to run for my life or to catch my little grandchildren if they ran. but I started to notice that my knees were getting really sore, really, really sore. And then we did the 7-day detox. And within 3 days, my knee pain was gone. And I remember talking to Dr. Smita and saying, I just don't understand it. I don't understand. How can a detox in 3 days? Like, I am an orthopedic specialist. It doesn't make any logical sense to me. How could detoxing take this sharp, terrible pain away from my knees? And now I know that if I say something like this, like, oh, darn it, I left my notebook upstairs. Oh, I have to go up the stairs. If I say that, hear myself saying that to myself, it's time for me to do a detox. And it truly takes the pain away. So, and then one thing I heard Carol Ray mention, like when you're doing it, when you're in India, it's so easy to do it when you're in India because everyone is looking out for you. And it's a little bit harder at home because there's a lot more distractions. But if you truly can be totally about letting go, letting go, letting go, not really receiving a whole lot of information, just kind of really letting things leave you, leave you, leave you. And one of the things I did on one of the detoxes was did a 3 days of silence. And it's a little easier in India because they're used to you doing these kinds of things. And I did have to take a little sign sometimes because it bothered me when I couldn't say thank you. Like someone would do something for me and I was like, that was my hardest part, was not be able to say thank you. So I brought a thing, thank you. I had a little note, thank you. And I even said a thing that said, I'm in silence. But it really was fantastic. When I did it and really did it for the whole 3 days, I felt so good about what I did for myself. But you also will feel that when you do the 7-day after you're done, you'll say, I did this for me and I committed to it. And one last thing, it's easier if you do it with someone else, because if you go to cheat, you'll think, oh, I wouldn't want to be a bad example for my friend. So sometimes it's a little harder to be accountable just to yourself. But if you have a friend doing it with you, you tend to be a little more strict with yourself as to be there for your friend. And that's all.
Thank you, Dr. Ann. That was great. And I know that pain goes away because I've experienced it. Thank you. Karen, I'd love to hear from you.
Well, I'm starting a 30-day, well, it's 28 days, but I say 30. I'm starting my month tomorrow. So I'm going beyond the 7-day. I've never done a 7-day, but I also did notice after a few days changes. But what I noticed the most the first time I did it was when I was getting off the couch, I would be like feeling really stiff. But after I did the detox, I just pop up off the couch and it's like, oh, I'm not stiff anymore. So I lost weight, which wasn't one of my, losing or releasing weight is a goal of mine, but I wasn't doing the detox for that purpose. But I did release, I think, 11 pounds the first time. And I think I released more than that the second time. So I definitely felt benefits from it. And I know that I'm cleaning things up and energy is better afterwards. So I'm going for it again.
Thank you, Karen. Wonderful 30 days. You're going to, well, you're going to have wonderful benefits. There's the 6 keys of health, and anyone can talk about any of them. Detox is just one of them. The ones that we've even explored here on the Sunday calls are marmas and home remedies. Our newsletter has home remedies in them. I don't know if anyone has had any good luck. I have to share, I've had very good luck with the home remedy to help your digestion when you've got an upset belly after eating. Um, that is amazing, and it works every time. Um, so if you've had experience with home remedies, the herbal formulas, the detox, anything that Ancient Secrets has used to change your life, why you're here, what has it taught you? Be quiet and see who raises their hand to talk.
Well, I could probably share my experience when similar to what Carol said. We were there in 2020 when the whole community started. And one of the first things we did right when the book came out was that Dr. Clint kind of said we have a 7-day detox, not detox, he didn't call it detox challenge, but a mung bean challenge. And so he put us more or less everyone who wanted to go on it on mung beans. And so for 7 days, I ate only mung beans, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the change in my body was instantaneous within 2 days. I could feel something really shifting. But after 7 days, I realized I wasn't where I wanted to be. So I continued. And I didn't eat it every meal, every day, but I stayed on mung beans daily for more than 9 months. I lost all in all more than 35 pounds. And I had really lost all the pain in my body that was still there. All my arthritis, everything that was kind of bothering me health-wise was gone. And I was kind of sick. I didn't take any supplements. It was really just the diet. I didn't even do any kind of home remedies. And at that point, I realized that what I thought had been a really healthy diet, like raw food and kind of the fresh vegetable salad and all of that I grew up with, wasn't really good for my body. And just to change that and learn about that and understand that had such an impact on my life that I can really say 4 years later, I'm a completely different person health-wise. All these little things that were always bothering me are still gone. And so, and it really started with 7 days. That was my initial idea. But once I noticed what happened in my body and how what a great impact the food had on my system, particularly when I actually ate the good things, that actually made me stay with it. And so if anyone has any issues with their bones, joints, pain, which is often an indication of inflammation, to change the food might not sound as the easiest thing to do, but it is actually. And it will really help the body to get rid of inflammation if you stay with it maybe a little bit longer, but just starting with 7 days. Once you feel better, you don't want to go back. That was definitely my experience. So yeah, that's I guess what I wanted to say. And
Thank
I'm
you,
actually going
Cornelia.
on a 7-day. I'm actually doing the 7 days now as well. I'm starting tomorrow as well.
Thank you, Cornelia. Shifra, please.
Well, I may have heard, I'm sorry for the background noise. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I may have heard the question wrong. I have not done the 7-day detox, but I was thinking about the ancient secrets in general. And
Please.
I can just say that, I think I have a different attitude. Like the Atithi Deva Baba, the unexpected guest, the way I look at things. And I have an eating disorder, and I get other help for that too, but I've had like 27 days that I haven't binged and that my food's been good. And I just, I feel a lot more peaceful and less angst. I've been troubled since I was a child, and I just don't feel as much of that. I feel more a sense of love. And I know there was one day I can't eat, I can only have a little bit of the yellow split peas because the split mung beans, I'm sorry. But I noticed the day I did that, I felt really good. And so this week I'm going to start taking, I'm going to start having a little bit of the mung beans, make the soup with just a little bit of the beans. Because I want to feel better and be more loving. And I've also felt more connected to people than I felt in a long time.
Thank you, Shifra.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful, Ancient Secrets isn't just about the physical. It's definitely about the emotional and how we actually have those, like the Atiti Debo Baba that you mentioned, and the Atmiyata. All of these are part of the Siddhaveda lineage that came through Ancient Secrets. And Carmen, I'd love to hear from you.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna remove my. Hi.
Good morning.
Well, I've been doing the detox for quite a while, and it's been quite a journey. I don't want to. I know we have limited time, so let me just sit correctly because my lower back is aching. I just came out of 2 detoxes back to back, one in October, November, the second one November, December. It helped me with a bunch of small ailments. I don't have like osteoarthritis or something that is predefined. I do have little ailments. I do have very bad digestion. I am a Vata Pitta in a Vata stage of life. I've been doing detoxes along since I met Jacob. And wanted it or not, because I didn't understand a lot of what was happening, I lost a lot of weight that I'm thin, but I think I lost that kind of weight that is accumulating toxins. You do feel very much different, especially in regard to emotions, because that's when these last 2 detoxes for me, it made a lot of sense when I understood what am I shedding, not only toxins that are um, um, not letting my body be the best way it can be. When it comes, I have a lower back, I have I can sleep. One of my 2 feet ache. I mean, I haven't done anything bad in my life, and suddenly, because of the change of life, everything aches, right? It's just like I understand what's happening, and my emotions, they are just out of place. It's just like I catch myself doing and saying things, and it's very painful. It's just like, where is that coming from? Where is that pain stored in my body? Why is it that happening? So by understanding what this Vata Pitta Kapha is and how is making things happen in my body in a way that is disorganized, helped me so much to stay on track with the mung beans, with the kitchery, with everything. Every single spice has a sense of balance in the body. And just knowing what food I can play with once I know my Vata Pitta Kapha and where am I out of order. Recently, I developed hives, right? Because I'm Vata, I have a lot of air in my head, and I'm thinking, and overthinking. And I developed this urticaria. I just didn't know how it was, how bad it can be. I was constantly itching and scratching my head. And so I talked with Dr. Ronak, because I was like, I went to see a regular doctor who said, you don't have anything. Nothing's going on with you. It was like, I swear to God, I'm going crazy. And he gave me a shampoo and stuff. Like, it didn't stop the pain. It didn't stop the itch. So I talked to Dr. Ronak, and he gave me a home remedy, right? It's like, okay, I think I'm going to have the ghee and the pepper, and the black pepper with turmeric in the morning, with no food. So it was like, it's so more aggravating my itch that I think I'm going to swallow this home remedy, because I can't deal with this anymore. I'm not going to lie to you, within that 3 to 5 days, I noticed 50 to 60% changes in the way I was itching. It was just so powerful. I was like, I believe now in these home remedies. And now I'm looking at every single home remedy and doing it with so much faith. Yesterday I was like putting my hand in my scalp, and I was like, I barely feel the need to scratch. And I can't believe I was scratching like crazy. It was growing outside of my scalp into my neck, the urticaria. And I was like, this is not happening to me. And I know it's a state of anxiety, right? It's a build-up of emotions and things that are out of place. But knowing that you have some sort of power to control this, when you finally fall for it fully, it's a life-changing machine, really. And we're gonna. It's just very empowering. I'm very proud, and I'm very happy that I'm following all of these things that look like the quote that this Carol Ray, I think somebody was reading right at the beginning. I was reading that yesterday on Facebook with Dr. Clint, like a bunch of things, bunch of principles that in modern medicine would look like a miracle, really are just the magic of putting things together and following through. And I'm so happy. I'm gonna see Dr. Ronak at the end of January, and I'm gonna share how successful this is going right now. It's just like by the time I see him at the end of January, probably I will be out of the urticaria. I'm just so happy.
Oh, that's beautiful, Carmen. Thank you for sharing. That's so exciting for you. And yes, that's what happens when we give our 100% to even the home remedies.
Yes.
Linda, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Linda,
Good
and
to
I
see
am,
you.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm still in my pajamas. I had not bathed yet. I am still
We
a
see your beautiful face in your picture. So I'm just happy you're here.
thrill. Well, if you want me to shut up, just let me know. Otherwise, I could tell you about my detox journey. How many minutes do
Please.
I get?
You have all the time you need, and if I need, I'll stop you. But I've never seen a need to do that with you, Linda.
Well, I have tried very hard to not be a human being, and I have failed magnificently at that. So if I'm a rambler, well, my guru kind of
Please
wants
share
me
your
to.
please share your detox experience. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, you have been warned. My public speaking skills are far from perfect, but as long as I speak from my heart, it's going to touch at least one person out there, right?
Yes.
So I've been doing daily, oh, obviously I'm still in detox mode. I've done these 7-day delicious detoxes once a month, or at least the past year, and my emotional body detox, that's another whole level detox altogether. I've had a lot of memories of being best friends with this human demon, as the best way to describe her. And I know I warned you about my rambling storytelling skills, and I'm noticing my skeleton is feeling better. A little background about me: I have 59 summers, and I'm going to just let myself be a rambler with. I mean, I'm still healing my breath with my teachers. I do monthly liberation breathwork, public breathes, and it's transformative. That's part of my toolbox. And yep, the angel says 2 more minutes time for me, and then I guess I can wrap it up and go back into dreamland. 3 a.m. owl. I don't know what kind of bird it is, doesn't matter, but it seemed to have a message to say. Yeah, life is very interesting when you're no longer willing to suffer from your own pain. And they want me to let you know that I am on I'll call it a 10-year path of becoming a Siddha Veda healer of some kind. I mean, it's freaking expensive to pay for a whole medical internship without the surgery or the anesthesia or the antibiotics. I mean, I have 3 medical people in my extended clan at least, and 2 professional information management managers, and I am
Thank you,
not prepared.
Linda.
Okay, I can
Thank you.
stop.
Thank you for sharing that you've had benefit and what you're goals are. It's just so nice to hear from you. I appreciate it very much.
May it be
I'm
a
gonna
benefit,
call.
and I can mute myself now. I love you and I'm
Thank you,
with
Linda.
you.
I love you and I'm with you. Hey, Brett.
Hey there, Debra-Ann, and each of you, hello, and particularly those that have shared already today. Thank you for reminding me the significance of this. Um, I was fortunate to go through the 100-day experience this past May and June and July, and a part of that was the 30-day detox. And I, similar to many of you, had significant physical, emotional, and even spiritual shifts for me, and in life-changing, life-altering pathways. I'll just, in addition to what's already been shared, I'll just share two things. Just the very first physical shift for me when I was doing the detox. I began the detox with debilitating allergies. Every single morning, I would wake up with completely blocked with the drainage, and sorry, too much information, but the drainage to where I wake up and I'm nauseous. 5 out of 7 mornings a week, I wake up having the need to throw up and vomit because the drainage was so significant. But with the detox on day 3, I mean, day 1 we fasted mostly. Day 2, then day 3. That third morning, I woke up for the first time in probably 18 months plus without any drainage whatsoever. And it continued through the detox, and it has continued when I'm disciplined to be that case now, which I'm so grateful for. It feels small, just talking about more in allergies, but what a difference to wake up without having that urge to having to relieve yourself in that way. And the second thing, and there are other significant physical shifts, gosh, emotional shifts. Oh my goodness. But I will just say I'm a self-confessed foodie. I love to eat, and I love to eat good food, and I love to cook, and I love to have friends over and fire up the smoker and the grill. But I was so surprised that doing the detox with this ancient sacred community, I was told what to eat and when to eat it and how to eat it and what to do. And I cannot tell you it seems really small, but it was such a relief that I didn't have to figure out what I was going to eat. And two, it exposed in me a food addiction to where I cannot tell you how much of my day I spent thinking about food and what my next meal was going to be and what my next snack was going to be and and I'll just share that was a unexpected added thing for me when I did a detox this past summer. So I'm grateful for this community. I'm new here, but I love it, and you guys are an encouragement to me every single time.
Brett, it's always, every time you share and I hear a little bit more of your story, I'm just so delighted. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Luke.
Hi, everybody. So, Debra-Ann, you asked us, besides our experiences with the detox, to also share our experiences with home remedies. So I have done the 7-day detox a couple of times, and it's been wonderful. I'll be doing it this week. I do eat mung bean soup every day, a bowl of mung bean soup every day. But I want to talk about the home remedies, and anybody who has not been using home remedies to help their health and their well-being, really, I highly recommend starting it. I do the home remedies quite a bit. I've learned them along the way in the last few years, and I keep a whole book, a little notebook of all the home remedies. One of the home remedies I've used a lot is as soon as I feel any sniffle or not feeling well coming on, like it could be the beginning of a cold, I immediately make the immunity drink. And it's in the book. I think it's on page 293. And Dr. Naram also does a video about it. But I always take the immunity drink when I'm starting to feel perhaps something coming on. And amazingly, within a half an hour or so, I have more energy, the symptoms fade away. And if I feel them coming back, I'll just have another cup. It's very simple to make. I also drink the detox tea every day,
Hmm.
which is fennel, cumin, coriander, and ginger. Besides being excellent for digestion, it's extremely anti-inflammatory. So that's a wonderful thing to include every single day as a detox tea. And I take a number of other home remedies when the time is appropriate if I feel something happening. So I highly recommend taking the home remedies and just learning about it along with marmas. The marmas and the home remedies, those 2 points of the 6 principles are so easy to do every single day, and they'll make such a huge difference in your life. So I'm just plugging those 2 aspects of our learning in this Siddha Veda lineage. It'll help you tremendously in your health and well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. That's awesome. Because that's my experience too. Thank you for sharing that because all 6 keys, well, they work amazingly. Thank you, Luke. Siobhan, please share.
Everybody, it's coming to the top of the hour, so I'm going to keep it very brief. I have good news, and as the quote says, it's a long process. So, you know, I could say it was a mixture of things, but I committed to the ancient secrets, you know, obedience to the unenforceable, for over, I think it's 2 years now, and my most recent scans, I got the results before Christmas, and I am cancer-free. And I would say 99.9% of that was me changing my diet and jumping onto the ancient secrets way of life and eating. And for that, I just want to say a really big thank you. Initially to Patricia, who put me onto the secrets, but for the warm welcome and all the support and the enthusiasm for life and everybody's kindness. So I just thought it was prudent to share that because it was a positive result. Thank you.
Oh, Siobhan, thank you. Let's send Siobhan some just healing energy to continue on that path of healing and keeping that body straight. Share. Thank you so much, Siobhan. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. So she mentioned it's coming to the top of the hour. That's when we get to go into our breakout rooms. We still, do we go in before the hour or do we go in at the hour? If there's no one that wants to share, we can go in. I know we have our wonderful Robin who will be setting up the rooms for us. If there's no other one that would like to share, while she's setting that up, I'll share with you the home remedy that Carmen shared. I had allergies from the time I was 10 until I met Ancient Secrets, actually, which was, you know, in 3-4 years ago. And I was told that there's no ever getting, I would never get over allergies. That was just managing allergies. And that remedy that she shared, which is the turmeric, the pepper, and the ghee, I have no allergies. Susan and Joseph, please.
Thanks. I just wanted to do a quick share. Long time ago, I read a book called The Hard Work Miracle. And that whole idea really stuck with me, that we go, oh, it's a miracle. A miracle has happened. And I'm thinking about who just shared Shabana about the cancer. And that was she did the hard work that made the miracle happen. And all of us were showing up every Sunday. We're trying marmas and all kinds of things. We're committed to our health in a radical way that's not traditional from where most of us come from. And we're doing the hard work for the miracles. And it's so fun to listen to all the miracles. But I just really wanted to acknowledge the hard work of that and just bless everybody. It's just so great to hear. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that because it is a commitment. It's not something that's done easily and not everyone. And the beauty is having a community to support you through the process, which is, we need each other. Shifra, did you want to say something else before we go into breakout rooms?
Yes, the only thing I was just asking for was I just heard from a dear friend, Greta, that she's had complications to a colonoscopy and she's had a lot of health stuff going on. And I just wondered if people could, just asking for prayers for my dear friend Greta.
Shall we just send a blast through Shifra
Sure.
to her friend, just really quick?
Yeah. I'm just seeing her well.
And for everyone else who is actually needing special support
Absolutely.
in health, and at the moment, because I know there are quite a few who are going through some either physical but also emotional things, like Jana. Most of you might have heard that she just lost her mother, who passed away last week, and so all of those who really need this kind of little bit of energy boost from us, let's include them in that sending of healing energy.
Thank you, Cornelia. Okay.
Belle also has her hand up, yeah.
Belle, please. Great. You're muted still.
Thank you. I just wondered because Debra-Ann, you and I talked yesterday, and there was this idea about the detox tea, and then Luke just brought up that he drinks detox tea every day. So I looked up the recipe, and I thought I could end this session, if that works for you, just to read the recipe out there.
Please.
From actually, this is I've had it in a notebook. It's not easy to find. So anyway, the recipe is take 1 liter, about 5 cups, and add about 2 tablespoons of these herbs: cumin seed, coriander seed, and fennel seed. So each of those 2 tablespoons in the 5 cups of water. In the winter, which it is now, at least where I am, you also add 2 teaspoons of dry ginger powder, and you bring it to a boil, let it cool down, and drink it warm hourly throughout the day. So I've given you the big batch rather than the cup by cup batch. And I hope that works for you. And I'm sure if Luke, who drinks it every day, has any additions, he could add them in. But I thought it might be great to just, for whether on the 7-day cleanse, which I'm stepping into tomorrow, with all of you who are as well, that or not. It sounds like detox tea might be added to our agendas, all of us.
Thank you, Belle. Luke, please
Well,
follow that up.
actually, the first day of the 7-day cleanse is the detox tea, the CCFT. It talks about just taking ginger water, but you can have the CCFT, and I always add ginger to it. So for me, it's CCFG. Also, just to clarify, so people who are new to this, because you mentioned seeds. So when you get, you could do it as a powder. It doesn't have to be seeds. When I buy fennel in my local spice store, it comes as seeds, but I had them grind it down very, very fine to a powder. So all these things are in powder format: fennel, cumin, coriander, and ginger. And yes, you do a pot, and you put all the ingredients in. It's 1 teaspoon of each, and then
So the pot, Luke, has about how much water? Because a pot isn't everybody's.
I know you're right. So I think, and I don't have an exact. You said a liter, and it probably is a liter. I just have a small pot that I use. I've never measured it, and I put the ingredients into it, and I let it come to a boil, and then I have enough for 2.5 cups, and then I make more later on. So it's very, very simple, and it's a wondrous drink that helps with detoxing your body, helps with digestion. It's very anti-inflammatory. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Thank you. And the wonder is the flexibility of the home remedies too, because I've made it with the powder and without the powder, and it is 1 teaspoon. When
when it's
You
powdered?
can add more depending on your flavor, right? If you want it stronger, you could add more. But yeah,
Does that make a
experimenting.
difference,
This is all
Debra-Ann?
about an experiment.
Yeah, well, you know, in the notebook, I think probably from the 100-day experiment is what I was looking at. If it's the herbs, not the powder, would that call for the 2 tablespoons like it mentions in the 100-day experiment directions?
So I'm going to say it's an experiment because when I have made the tea, it has been too strong for me when I did it with an amount greater than. And it depends on how old your powdered herbs are. They're not going to be as strong if they're older. And so, there's these give and take that you have when you're working with the remedies also. So if you have freshly ground herbs, they're going to be a lot stronger than herbs that have been ground and are older. And then for me, this is the lazy part of me. I like to do it with the seeds because it's easier to strain. So I end up using more seeds that way, but it has a delicious flavor. So it's an experiment. Everybody gets to do what works best for them, but those are the ingredients.
Well,
And
can I
now,
just one more
yes,
little clarification between you and Luke? So, we're talking tablespoons of seeds. Are we talking teaspoons of powder, Luke? When you said when you make up your batch with with the liters, with the
Yeah.
liter, is that teaspoons?
Teaspoons of powder. Yes.
Teaspoons. Okay, thank you.
very good. Robin,
I do
are
have
we
the
ready to
breakout rooms set up. Do we want to go ahead and do our closing and
do
then?
our sign off? I thank you all for sharing. It was so inspiring to hear what they've experienced and to hear the sharing of the home remedies and the emotional aspects. And I love you all. So let's do our sign off where we rub our hands together, work up that heat and energy so that we can share it with our community. I love you and I'm with
I
you.
love you and I'm with
I love
you.
you and I'm with you.
Love you and
I
I'm
love
with
you and I'm with you.
You and I with you.
I love you and I miss you.
Love you and I'm with
I
you.
love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with
I love
you.
you and I'm with
Thank you
you.
very much,
Love
Robin,
you and I'm with
doing
you.
the breakout rooms.
Love you. Love you. Love you and
I
I'm
love
with
you.
you.
I love you and I miss you.
With you.